Welcome to another season of Women Live TV. Content created by women for women. Women Live TV is brought to you by Southern Crescent Women in Business Media Group. Our 2023 media participants include Debracia Hale of Divine Design Accessories, LLC. Melissa Ellis of Life Beyond Warner. Tyronica Carter of Radiant Styles. Shirley Solomon of Blessed Hands Home Care. Alicia Williams of the Dazzling Diva Collection. Sylvia Dennis Ray of the Alzheimer's Services Center. Kimberly Corbin of Meeting Shields, LLC. Catherine Jordan of the Savvy ID. And Yvette DeBest of Best Tax Solutions, LLC. I am Ariel Shaw, host and founder of Women Live TV and founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business Incorporated. We are so excited for season 3 of Women Live TV. You can catch us on Amazon Prime, Amazon Fire TV, all Amazon platforms, YouTube, and all streaming networks. Tune in. You don't want to miss an episode. Women Live TV.
Hi, I am Ariel Shaw, founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business, and we are here today with another episode of Women Live TV. We have a special guest today, which is no stranger to Women Live TV, Miss Sylvia Dennis Ray. Welcome, Sylvia.
Thank you for having me, Ariel.
Thank you for being with us. Now, Sylvia, this is your third time on Women Live?
Actually, number
Is
two.
it when? Is it
It's
two?
number two.
Okay. Now, tell a little bit, for those who don't know who you are, and you look there, tell us who you are, you're representing Alzheimer's Services Center.
Well, my name is Sylvia Dennis Ray. I am a Alzheimer's and dementia advocate. I am a caregiver, and I'm also the executive director of the Alzheimer's Services Center. The Alzheimer's Services Center is an adult daycare center, and we also do overnight respite, and we do caregiver support. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our clients are those who suffer from Alzheimer's disease and any other related dementia.
Perfect. Now, you're located where?
We're located in Morrow,
Okay.
Georgia,
All
in
right.
Clayton County.
You're in Clayton. Now, tell a little bit about, and I know we've talked briefly about this before, but tell me, because we're having this conversation, why are you in this field? Was there something that got you here? and tell a little bit about where you came from. What's your background?
Okay. Well, I came from corporate America. I've been in pharmaceutical, shearing plow, healthcare, Johnson & Johnson. And then about 20 years ago, back in 2003, my mom suffered a ruptured aneurysm. And after her second surgery, it left her with vascular dementia. And that's when I decided that I wanted to give back to the community. My husband and I have moved to Georgia. We started our own restaurant, and I wanted to give back. So the organization that I chose to give back to was Walk to End Alzheimer's, the Georgia chapter.
Okay.
So that's how I got started with Alzheimer's. And I started volunteering with the Peachtree City Walk.
Okay.
And then God said, well, you're not doing enough. And so I started.
Don't you just love when that happens?
Yes.
You think you're doing so much, and then he's like, you can do
Not
more.
doing enough. So I started going to a support group because being a caregiver is really tough.
Yeah.
And so I started going to this support group, and I was like, man, we need that on the south side.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have it on the south side. So
South side, South Atlanta.
South Atlanta, yes. Because the support group that I went to was actually in Clayton County, but it was in an adult day where my mom went.
Okay.
And so they had it one month, and I really enjoyed it because you get to talk to other people that are going through the same thing that you're going through.
Right.
And you feel like you're not alone. So I decided, let me reach out to the Alzheimer's Association and see if I could start one in Henry County. So I did, and they allowed me to start one in Henry County. So that was the beginning of my journey dealing with Alzheimer's and other dementias.
So before you started that, your mom suffering, the aneurysm and getting in as a result having vascular dementia. First of all, what is vascular dementia in comparison to, what we know as dementia? What is the difference?
Okay. There's several types of dementia.
Okay.
So you always hear Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the most common dementia. And then the next is vascular dementia. It has the same traits as Alzheimer's, but it just doesn't progress as much as Alzheimer's does. Okay. And a lot of people, how they get vascular dementia is due to high blood pressure, strokes,
wow. Okay.
Anything that's cardio, the cardiovascular. That's how they get vascular dementia, and that's how they're diagnosed.
Wow.
But what the funny thing is that when they first told us that my mom had dementia, they never told us what type. So I assumed it was Alzheimer's until I started learning more about Alzheimer's and the different dementias. And I had to go back to our neurologist and say, well, what type of dementia does my mom have? And that's how I found out she had vascular.
So it sounds like, education is extremely important to the community. And because first of all, I never even knew there was vascular dementia, and you've been on you've been in our interaction at least a couple times. And that it could also be brought on by high blood pressure. Yep. That's really amazing.
And what's really amazing is I always say I want to be educated.
Yeah.
I always want to be in the know. So just a couple of weeks ago, I found out that 90% of African Americans that are diagnosed with dementia, they're diagnosed with vascular dementia.
Wow.
Yeah, because it runs.
That is
we're
an
high,
alarming thing.
We're high in high blood pressure.
Yes,
you're right. Strokes, heart attacks. So,
ooh.
Yes.
That's so. What you gonna do about it is the question. so you need to sound the alarm on that.
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes.
So how are we not getting that information out to the community and to us?
I was just in conversations with a doctor from Emory, and she has an organization, and we're going to partner together to try to get the word out to our community.
Yeah.
And she's starting in the Black churches.
So, I just heard the Surgeon General, they said, we have an epidemic. The epidemic is not necessarily what we've seen in the last couple of years with COVID, but the epidemic is loneliness. Maybe we need to have an epidemic where, hey, what we're seeing now is, a result of high blood pressure and stroke among the African American community, an onset of dementia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're also looking at COVID-19. During the COVID-19, people are complaining of brain fog.
Brain fog, aka dementia.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you're scaring me.
They're doing research now to see if COVID-19 is affecting dementia patients now.
So you're 501c3. You're based in Clayton County.
Mm-hmm.
You offer a host of services, which you've mentioned. What's next for the Alzheimer's Services Center?
Well, one thing, we just signed an agreement with Clayton County Senior Services that they are assisting Clayton County residents with out-of-home respite services, so you can get some assistance from Clayton County. And then after that, this year, on September 30th, we will be having our first Alzheimer's Walk in partnership with Clayton County Senior Services.
Awesome. That's
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit, you said you came from corporate and you also had a business with your husband. How has that transition been with transitioning out of that space to now running an Alzheimer's Services Center?
It was tough. It was tough at first because moving here to Georgia, starting our own business, the business was successful, and then recession hit. So we had to end up shutting down because of the recession. And from there, I went to Luxottica and worked for them for about 3 years.
Okay.
And I decided I still didn't want to work for corporate America.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get away from that. So I decided that I wanted to go into the public sector. And so I started in my church. I was the marketing director at my church. So that was a nonprofit. And one day I stumbled on the Alzheimer's Services Center.
Yeah.
It was God sent because I went there as a volunteer.
Yeah.
And I think I volunteered for about 2 months. And I ended up filling in for someone who was going out on sick leave. And from there, the executive director went back to senior services, and she turned it over to me.
Now, Sylvia, you've had many plays in your life. The journey that you're in now, did you imagine being here today? And tell us a little bit about that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
This was all God. It was God. He was ordering my steps. I thought I was going to be at corporate America all my life. That's where I envisioned myself, being an executive at corporate America.
Okay.
And then one day, when I met my husband, we talked about owning our own restaurant, and so we worked on that business plan for years. And when we moved to Georgia, that was the purpose of moving to Georgia, was to start our own. So still never knew that I would be in the Alzheimer's.
So beyond Alzheimer's, I'm talking about here. I'm talking about at this studio. I'm talking about magazine covers. I'm talking about you, your journey.
Okay. No, never imagined being there either. Never. Just all of a sudden, it just seems like God is shining His light on me.
Yeah.
One thing I did say though, when I was in church, I said, I want to see my name in lights.
Okay.
I would love to see my name in lights, and voila, here we are.
Wow.
Here we are.
Your name is definitely in lights. and has that been a rewarding journey for you?
Yes, it has. I just see myself growing. Like I said, never thought I would be in this place. Never thought I would be in lights, behind lights. But yes, I get satisfaction.
That's satisfaction. Good. Now, what's next for you?
So
next for you and ASC. Separate them, but tell us.
Right. So I'll start with ASC first. ASC, what's next for us is to expand.
Okay.
I'm looking to have more Alzheimer's services centers.
Wow.
Maybe in another state.
Okay.
And then for Sylvia, I'm looking to tell my story, tell my journey, and how this journey has affected my life and made me a better person, more patient person. Because being a caregiver is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it has really matured me.
Awesome. How can we find you? Tell everybody.
Okay, so you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ASC Morrow. You can visit our website, www.ascga.org. And you can follow Sylvia at Sylvia D. Ray, both on Instagram and Facebook.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Again, Ariel, thank you.
And we will be right back with Women Live TV. We have Miss Kimberly Corbin.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Dennis Ray. I am a caregiver, and I am the Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Services Center. My journey started back in 2003 when my mom suffered from a ruptured aneurysm and it left her with dementia. Soon after, I became her primary caregiver. And that's when I realized the need for being involved with Alzheimer's and people who suffer from other related dementias. Clayton County Senior Services care for their seniors so much that they have partnered with us to develop a program that Clayton County residents can receive assistance with attending out-of-home day respite at the Alzheimer's Services Center. You can help us by volunteering or becoming a sponsor at any of our upcoming fundraisers. Visit our website at www.ascga.org. You can also follow us on our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram at ASC Morrow.
Extreme Fun on Wheels Atlanta is a unique and exciting entertainment experience that offers a variety of activities for all ages. They provide an innovative approach to traditional party events by bringing the fun right to your doorstep. Extreme Fun on Wheels offers a range of services, including laser tag, video game trucks, tailgating, party bus, and much more. Their team, highly experienced in creating memorable experiences for all types of events, including birthday parties, corporate events, and team building activities. With their state-of-the-art equipment and experienced team, they provide an unparalleled level of fun and excitement that will leave their guests talking about their experience long after the event is over. Whether you're looking for something unique for your child's birthday party or a fun-filled activity for your office retreat, Extreme Fun on Wheels Atlanta has got you covered. They are committed to providing exceptional service and delivering unforgettable experiences that will leave everyone wanting more.
And welcome back to Women Live TV. I am Ariel Shaw, and I am here today with Kimberly Corbin of Meeting Shields LLC. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you so much for having me, Ariel.
Thank you for coming. Now, this is not your first time here with Women Live TV, so welcome back.
Thank you.
And tell us, for those who do not know, what is Meeting Shields?
Meeting Shields is a full-service risk mitigation and emergency management protection firm. We are a conglomerate of corporations, so the way that we like to look at it is we are the Amazon or the Walmart of risk mitigation. Mm-hmm. It is a one-stop shop for products, services, and technology all under one roof to be able to prepare your businesses in multiple sections and sectors for any type of emergencies that may arise.
Now, what type of businesses would need your services? Is it all kind of businesses? Is it small to mid-size? Or are we talking about major corporations?
Well, we work with multiple market segments. We had started initially with the entertainment and events markets, transitioned into entertainment, the technological markets, corporate office environments, and then educational institutions. And now lately, what has been one of our biggest drivers is the government market.
Now, are we talking about local or federal?
Combination of both. So we do state as well as federal government contracting.
And tell us what that looks like. So, if I was a small business, what would that look like in contracting your services?
Absolutely. So when it comes to emergency and risk mitigation, it really stands the perspective of sitting down and saying, what do we need to do to ensure that there are no holes or gaps in worst case scenarios? We have all lived through recessions, pandemics, all things that may have forced our corporations, even mass shootings, to be able to shut down as a business, as an entity, as a school institution. What things, whether they be products, services, or technology, do we need to put into place? First, with an assessment to see where our liabilities may lie. And so we do everything from liability insurance to sitting down and creating an action plan that if they're either on site or if they're offering some sort of a service, that we are protecting that organization or those individuals in those places.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. So, are you mainly protecting the business as well as the business owners? So, similar to what an insurance umbrella would?
Absolutely. So, when it comes to a service versus a actual product or piece of technology, a service would be something along the lines of we would offer emergency management preparedness plans for individuals to kind of see where their holes are in their company, a whole risk assessment to see how their businesses are being hardened to be safe and they're protecting their assets. If we're talking about a product, it's anything from we've done masks to shielding during emergency services, during pandemics, and even during services, if you're looking on that side, it would be along the lines of medical testing. And providing technology with all types of products that we have used recently in order to not be in the office but still protect people.
Now, we are moving in a very interesting technology space with artificial intelligence. How does that play a role into your line of work?
So AI is something that's it's not something that's new. It's something that's been around for years. We use it in the world of hospitality, that you're seeing robots, that you're seeing all types of robotics that are coming in, and technology that's not necessarily replacing humans, but it's working with humans to streamline things. So from where we're working in, it's streamlining back office operations in order to make things roll smoother for individuals. So their plans are now being able to be scaled out a little bit more.
Okay. So have you been able to use that with your clients?
It's something that we're seeing that if it's a need for clients right now, we're working on it internally with our teams as we're scaling our divisions out. Right now, we are based here in the Atlanta market, but now we are in the process of transitioning out to multiple markets throughout the country.
Awesome. Now, where will you be, or are you already in some other areas?
We are. So we initially had started in Fayette County, which is why we initially connected. And as we started to scale in the last several years, we have opened our operations office in Ohio. Our secondary corporate office is in the Washington, D.C. market. And we're now opening our West Coast office, which is in Los Angeles, in the next 60 days. So very excited about that.
Awesome.
And then we have one international office in London. So it has been really, really busy, but it's been phenomenal to be able to help different organizations.
And tell us a little bit, you said Meeting Shields is a portion, or it's a another part of another business.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Absolutely. So I also serve as the owner of another company called Inside Out Hospitality Productions, which is the slow transition of how we got Meeting Shields. I was sat on the C-suite with a major hotel chain for 17 years, left that side, and then transitioned into advocacy with the marginalized communities and people of color who were not necessarily getting the same corporate deals when it came to citywide conventions, television production, and any type of media and communication. So I transitioned into starting what is now one of the largest women-owned full-service event production companies. So everything from site selection, pre-production, content creation, on-site audiovisual, food and beverage, negotiations, down to post-production, and that is for conventions and conferences of up to 300,000 people on peak, and that's nationally as well as internationally. And then we do all types of music festivals and television production and award shows. Wow,
that's amazing. Now, are you still using that company or managing both companies at the same time?
So that is also the beauty of AI, because it's allowed us to be able to have multiple partnerships with lots of different individuals that we've been able to bring to the table now to be able to scale both businesses. Risk mitigation really came out of the ability with our entertainment arm to now say we need to protect those industries. As you've seen, so many different problems that have come up in the last several years where emergencies have happened and people were not prepared on the entertainment side. And so we just naturally progressed from that into education and government and corporate office environments.
That's really good and really interesting. Now, you have a family, correct?
I do.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family? And if you're running two major businesses, how does that impact your family?
I'm a very supportive family. I have 4 daughters and a husband. My husband and I have been married since we were 19, so close to 27 years.
Wow.
Coming up on 3 daughters in college and 1 in high school. It has impacted them beautifully because I have learned that there is no such thing as work-life balance. There's scales, and scales rarely ever balance. It's about 2 of my favorite words, which are strategy and intentionality. And you have to be very strategic with how you plan your day, how you plan your weeks, even the teams and the people that you bring around you, in order to set the intentionality to spend time and be deliberate in making sure that family is a priority.
Right. So that's interesting that you mentioned there's no such thing, or you don't believe in work-life balance, because just recently that's what I heard, but they call it work-life integration.
Okay.
You know, so I said, okay, well, that's a new thing. Let's see what that means.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell for you? More work-life integration?
I would say work-life boundaries. Boundaries are important, and whether that's professional or personal, I think it's important to set boundaries with family, with friends, with coworkers, with clients, so you can maintain self-care. And self-care, to me, I tell people, is more than champagne, bubble bath, and Sunday brunch with the girlfriends. It's making sure that you are centered spiritually, emotionally, physically, across the board, professionally. So taking that time out for you, and whatever that looks like for you, without somebody dictating that, in order to make sure you're good.
And so, how are you being intentional about self-care?
Time blocking. That's probably the biggest thing. There are certain times during the day, I call myself a proud dropout of corporate America.
Okay.
And that was intentional to make sure that I was not only an advocate for my clients, but for my children and my family, that I could give them the time that they needed, but also for me. I knew I had goals and I had dreams that I wanted to accomplish, but that I also wanted to be present for my children and for my husband. It's a covenant that we had entered into as a family. And when we made the transition from actually Manhattan to Atlanta, we made that strategically to make sure that our children and our family and our businesses were in areas where they saw people that looked like them, that reflected them, and that they felt comfortable with, and they did not have to conform.
That's good. So, you know, I hear a lot about being able to make sure that you have that freedom and what entrepreneurship provides as it relates to that home. So, do you have any advice for anyone looking to get into your particular industry?
Absolutely. Because it's two industries that kind of work together. One is entertainment and hospitality, which transitioned into risk management. I would say it's really learning the environment. I don't believe in a pivot because pivot is very reactionary, and I think that we've coined that word and used it incorrectly over the years. I'm a big person that's about an adapt and change, and learning what the environment is that's around you, and understanding if it's risk mitigation and emergency management, how your role would play with the way that the world is going, in the fields of if it's technology, where are we going as a community, where are we going as a country, where are we going as a globe, to be able to protect not only our environments but hard shell our communities to make sure that our businesses and we're safe in those environments. So really doing a lot of research from that perspective. If it's hospitality, it's understanding that we really need to be hospitable in the hospitality industry, and that we are not above doing the hard work to getting things done.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure talking with you, Kimberly. What's next for Meeting Shields, and tell us how we can find you?
Meeting Shields is doing some amazing things. We just entered into an amazing government contract with CDC, where we are doing medical staffing and doing medical staffing domestically across the country. So they literally make a phone call and say, we need 20 to 30 nurses or doctors or whatever for a particular project or job, and then we send them out. And so they came to us for that because they saw how we handled the pandemic. And with regards to another arm that we're working with is inner city schools, and we are partnered with a telehealth organization, which will now work with underprivileged students, communities, not necessarily of color, but just within certain cities. And in multi-cities we are in right now, creating those programs where they will have access if they cannot get to doctors. They now have access to healthcare at low or little cost at all. And it's a membership program for different school systems. So we're really excited about that. And then lastly, getting into event safety, which is a security division that we have just opened to be able to hard shell a lot of our school institutions that have not had the funding or who were not prepared for emergencies that may have happened, and they're very reactive or reactionary, and now going into those schools and saying, this is how we should be handling drills, this is how we should be handling emergency management in cases of emergency, and we're doing that throughout the country as well.
That's really important. And again, how do we find you?
Absolutely. So if you're looking to find me or any one of my organizations, I'm on all social media. So LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Kimberly Corbin _, and then always website, meetingshields.com.
It is always a pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
And this has been another episode of Women Live TV. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tyronica Carter. Welcome to Radiant Styles Jewelry, where fashion and affordability radiates the jewel in you.
As the owner of Radiant Styles Jewelry, Tyronica offers affordable, fashionable accessories that are aligned with the ever-trending styles of today. She loves helping women and men feel and look their best in stylish accessories. As a team leader, Tyronica enjoys helping others begin their journey to success by joining her team and becoming their own boss. Since joining her growing company, she now leads a team of over 127,000 consultants and holds the second highest rank in the company. She has earned numerous free trips and other accolades and titles on her journey. She is proud to add author to the list of recent accomplishments. Tyronica strives to inspire, teach, and help others along the journey of entrepreneurship.
Follow me on all social media platforms and visit my website at radiantstylesjewelry2.com. Let's get you radiantly beautiful and get you started on your journey to becoming your own boss.